What is the one snack that brings you back immediately to being a kid? Comment below, and the Hunter brothers will share their snacks that bring them back. This week in the Country Music Update, I'm Greg Reynolds. First, we say congratulations to Miranda Lambert on another Grammy win. Also, Dan and Shay with another Grammy win, and they celebrated like they always do with a surprised, loving hug. And they had a hug just like that the first time they ever heard themselves over the radio. Here's what they told me.
We were at my house, I believe, that I was living in Nashville, and Dan had we moved in together into this house because we were together always. We were like, all right, let's go. And I think that our friend worked at a radio station, and she was like, hey, they're going to play your song. It was 19 You and Me. It was our first single. And we freaked out. Like, we ran outside, and I was like, dude, we got to go out here and check this out. We turned it up. I had a Jeep at the time, and the speakers were not good. They especially weren't good after we literally blew them out trying to listen to this song. It was, I don't even remember what time. It might have been like pretty early in the morning. It was very early. Really early in the morning. It was a morning show, probably like 5:30 or 6 in the morning, which was, especially at that time, very early for me to be up. And we ran out there, just cranked it up. And I just remember that. I mean, I still remember, the weeks leading up to that, Dan and I would ride around in that same Jeep listening to the demo of that song and being just so stoked that we had music into the world. And the fact that someone wanted to play it on the radio, we were freaking out. And I just remember that feeling of just like, man, this is literally, it's a realization of your dreams coming true. If it would have stopped at that and we never had a career at all, that would have been worth it in that moment to just be like, we got to hear a song on the radio. That's how exciting it is. And Dan and I text him every single time. We're not doing as much driving, but on my drive over here, I'll text him and be like, dude, our song's on the radio. And it's still, that magic that we had in the very beginning of just like something that we created and came out of our brains is now on the airwaves, for millions of people to hear. And it's just it's still a very special thing. If you can't tell, we get very excited about it. It's unbelievable.
Speaking of the radio, the Hunter brothers have a new radio single out today called Been a Minute. They told me a little bit about the song, and yes, about those snacks that bring them back to being a kid.
Fun Dips.
Ooh,
Dinosaurs.
Yes.
Those strawberry like sour straws. They've got to be a certain.
With like the little.
Like most of the kinds now, they don't taste the same way. Yeah.
They got the little white in the middle. Those sour straws.
No. They're actually like hollow, and they're like strawberry flavor with the sugar on the outside. Yeah.
Yeah. The double bubble gum.
Yeah. And for me, the Frosty Treat here in town, they used to sell these cinnamon flavored toothpicks. Do you remember that? That was a rage for a while. And then the Popeye, the little Popeye cigarette pack.
You are old.
They were a rage for a long time, the cinnamon flavored toothpicks.
Sounds fun.
I remember the Popeye smokes, and I remember the giant black licorice pipe one too. There was both of those that were in the candy store.
Yeah. Yes.
And you'd stand outside at like 6 years old doing this.
Yeah.
The new song, Been a Minute, is that it?
That's right. Yeah.
Nobody let me listen to it, so tell me all about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, we came off of Hard Dirt, being a track that was had a lot of sentiment to it. And this next chapter, we really wanted to have something that was fun, energetic, led us into the springtime, the summertime. So it's 2.5 minutes of fun, energy, up-tempo, Hunter Brothers classic kind of sound, but it is a phrase that's used in so many parts of the world. You'll go and have a conversation with somebody and they'll say, it's been a minute since I saw you, and we just were talking as brothers. Yeah, that's right. And just talking as brothers, we said, that phrase has more relevance right now than almost never before, because it truly has been a minute since, we've had live music, since we've seen, a lot of the people and familiar faces that we've missed, since we've been able to do a lot of the things that we're passionate about. And so hopefully it's a simple message that resonates with everybody, but also just is a lot of energy and a lot of fun.
They're always so much fun to talk to. I can't wait for you to see that entire interview. I got to talk, you might remember, to my buddy Jade Eagleson a little while ago about his new single, All Night to Figure It Out. Well, there's a new video out today that involves some very tragic pole dancing. But he talked to me a little bit about why he connected so deeply with this song.
The verses I laughed at, they're pretty funny because it reminded me of like Marina and I on our first date, because I thought I was like getting cleaned up and looking good, but I had my work boots on. It's like cleaned all the money off my boots is one of the lyrics, and that's literally what I did. Like I went and sprayed my boots off with the hose, so there's no manure on there anymore. And then I hopped in my truck, which I believe to be like pretty clean. I've heard otherwise since, but it was just I listened to that and it's like yeah, like the flowers, everything like that. Like I crushed all that, but like I honestly thought I was nailing it, and she's like, "Yeah, like yeah, your boots still smelled like."
And more video news. Brett Kissel's got a new one out for his song "Make a Life Not a Living," and we had a really deep conversation about when he was a kid, running out to see the airplanes and wondering where they're going. But later in life, recently, being on so many planes, looking down and thinking, "Wish I was back at the farm. I wonder what's going on down there."
I've got a song called "Die to Go Home." And the whole concept of this song is based around me as a kid on the farm. And I remember vividly when a plane would fly overhead of my farm, I would run and leave the dinner table because I'd never seen a plane before in my life. And it was so seldom in that part of the world I would see an airplane. I didn't go on my first flight for years. And so I remember that feeling as a kid. And now as an adult, especially over the last 5 years for sure, I had elite status on like 3 different airlines. And I would sit in my seat, look out the window at all these farms in the prairies, these farms flying and landing in Calgary that you see in the foothills, these farms in Colorado, these farms in Kansas and Wyoming and Texas. And I think to myself, wow, how I wish I could go back to the farm again. So that whole concept,
I love that,
is written in one of these songs that I'm really, really proud of. It may be the song I'm the most proud of that I've ever written.
For more of your country favorites and all the news going on, subscribe to this YouTube page. I'm Greg Reynolds with another country music update.